Ukraine successfully strikes Russian oil depot. Topic number one, no doubt about that. Topic number two, US lawmakers submit resolution clearly labeling Russia's war in Ukraine as genocide. In the Blitz interview, Lithuanian ex-MFA head and Minister of Defense Linas Linkevicius is at UATV English. Good afternoon, my name is Enrique, and yes, we are UATV English, an English-speaking Ukrainian state media in constant persuasion to deliver our truth in easy terms for you, for the whole free world, directly from Ukraine. Ukrainian forces successfully attacked a Russian oil depot in a town of Engels, Saratov Oblast, Russia, overnight on January 8th. The General Staff of Ukraine's armed forces confirms that. The operation, carried out jointly by Ukraine's military intelligence, the unmanned systems forces and other units, targeted the Crystal plant used to supply fuel to the nearby Engels 2 military air base. The military says the statement comes shortly after Russian authorities reported a drone attack in the area, with footage of the burning oil facility circulating on social media. The city of Engels lies around 600 kilometers, that is 370 miles, from the front lines in Ukraine. Saratov Oblast Governor Roman Busagin said Ukrainian drone debris struck what he called unspecified industrial facility around 5:30 a.m. local time amidst a massive drone attack on the city. He says no information was immediately available as to the extent the actual damage caused. Busagin said that there were no injuries as a result of the attack. Putin's defense ministry claimed that 11 Ukrainian attack drones were downed over Saratov Oblast. Well, at least one of them have made its way to the target, obviously.
The depot's destruction creates significant logistical problems for Russian strategic aviation and reduces its ability to attack peaceful Ukrainian cities and civilian facilities. General Staff of Ukrainian Armed Forces.
In case you were wondering, the Engels 2 base hosts the 3 Russian heavy bomber aviation regiments. These are the aircraft to launch mass strikes on Ukraine, resulting in heavy damage to infrastructure and thousands, yes, thousands in civilian casualties, including children. Ukrainian forces have previously launched drone strikes targeting exactly this airbase before, and I hope very much it will continue in doing so. Slava Ukraini. A draft resolution to recognize Russia's war against Ukraine as what it is, genocidal, was amongst the first bills submitted to the new US Congress on January 6th, the Congress website showed. The draft resolution was submitted by a bipartisan group of legislators.
Systematic actions against the Ukrainian people committed by Russian forces under the direction of Russian Federation political leadership meets one or more of the criteria under Article 2 of the Genocide Convention, the US Congress lawmakers' draft resolution's preamble.
The resolution cites the Russian military's intentional targeting of civilians, civilian infrastructure, systematic sexual violence against Ukrainian women, men and children, as well as the forced deportation of Ukrainian children to Russia.
All crimes committed by the Russian Federation must be reflected in U.S. law to ensure that Russian criminals are punished and to prevent such heinous crimes in the future. Currently, the Prosecutor General's Office of Ukraine has opened 170,090 cases of crimes related to the aggression of the Russian Federation, 151,698 for war crimes. Ukraine's ambassador to the U.S., Oksana Markarova.
The draft resolution calls on the U.S. to condemn Russia and support Ukraine and international jurisdiction against those responsible for Russia's actions, obviously. In early 2023, the International Criminal Court, ICC, issued arrest warrants for Russian President Vladimir Putin and Maria Lvova-Belova, the Russian official overseeing the forced deportations of Ukrainian children to Russia. I know many in the West just refuse to believe that Russians steal Ukrainian children. It is unimaginable. Why even Russians would want to do it? Many ask themselves. Well, for the same reason Bucha happened, and Olenivka, and many other towns and cities burned to the ground, and all the rapes and heinous tortures of Ukrainians. Because it is not just a war, it's a genocide. I know it is hard to believe that it is actually happening in the middle of Europe right now as you are watching this very video, but know this. This is exactly what Putin wants. For you to shrug shoulders and say, no way, impossible. This is all Ukrainian propaganda. And it is good to know that American lawmakers see things as they are. A genocide in the heart of Europe with 12,000 civilians, including 800 children, killed by Putin's imperial ambitions so far. Mr. Linkevicius is with us tonight. Hello, Mr. Linkevicius.
Good evening.
Thank you very much for your time. My first question is not actually mine. I've met someone from Lithuania recently, and he said there are too many back doors, he said. The question is, tomorrow, God forbid, if Russia invades Baltic states, my native Latvia, your native Lithuania and Estonia, will NATO respond in full might, or they will leave Baltic states to its own fate? What do you think?
No, this, fantasies are not for discussions, making assumptions. First of all, I don't think they will invade. Secondly, NATO definitely will defend itself because NATO was criticized a lot about not intervening, not engaging when something wrong happening in Europe or in Euro-Atlantic area even, let's say, and to protect itself, that will be decisive moment for NATO. Otherwise, NATO is not needed. So it's also understood by everyone, and too much at stake, so to say. So my feeling is that, first of all, it will not happen because there are other tasks for aggressor so far, and they're not fulfilled, and much to do in so-called backyard. So to start something bigger, although we know that resources are also not unlimited. So madness has no limits, as we all know, so very difficult to predict.
Exactly. Well,
but since we're asking about assumptions, so I'm trying to share some of them.
Right, okay. I'll take a fair share of your sharing of assumptions. Madness is unpredictable, indeed.
Yeah.
But let's make a small a prediction of something that is more or less predictable, because tomorrow is the next meeting of a Ramstein contact group. I wonder, should there be any cautious expectations that can be called favorable for Ukraine, or this is purely an official event, say hello, congratulate each other and say goodbye?
No, I think, first of all, it's not to say goodbye. Even I liked statements of Austin, although he's leaving and the administration is about to end its, so to say, activity, but they said that it should be continued. And we're talking about 25th meeting, right, of Ramstein. So too many anniversaries. And also it's a reminder that there are definitely not just one coalition of willing and those who are helping Ukraine, but in fact there are 8 coalitions on specific issues and very important matters. And the statement of Austin was about the meeting as a milestone, he said. So it should be really backed by some substance. Slogan is not sufficient. Just to announce, it should be something more like information. So the ambition is to cover, to make this, so to say, support process sustainable, at least up to 2027. And reminder, there are more countries in the world, not just the United States, which is decisive, crucial, whatever you can call. This is definitely quite important, but it's not the only one. And there are many others and 8 coalitions, as I said. So the ambition is to make the process alive. And I welcome that mood. I believe this is really doable. By the way, definitely it's doable. Is it sufficient? Will, is it sufficient, so to say, leadership to run the show? It's another question. Sometimes it's not, but maybe this challenges will make this group stronger, and understanding will be that process should continue. So it's not just a meeting to say goodbye. No, it's a meeting to remind that this group is still alive. There's 8 coalitions. And they have ambition to continue to make this support process sustainable.
Well, I mean, Mr. Linkevicius, don't get me wrong. Amen to that. But exactly my point was if there is enough willpower around, but we will see. We will see very, 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 very soon. Um, I would like to ask another question about the peacekeepers, whatever that means in terms of Ukrainian war. Potential peace talks and proposals by European leaders for peacekeeping missions in Ukraine now. Please help me to understand these peacekeeping efforts and missions, how exactly they can keep any peace here and be, in general, helpful for Ukraine.
Any peacekeepers could be used if countries will agree on mandate, if it will be done through normal procedures, the United Nations Security Council, it will be no-go if Russia will not like it. Russia many times said that they will not accept Western forces on the territory of Ukraine. First of all, nobody asking Russia so far for that. But the West is in debt on support to Ukraine, and I believe these thoughts after ceasefire will be agreed, if it will be agreed, to put forces on territory of Ukraine, which is under control of Ukraine, would be one of the steps in order to guarantee definitely that this war will not reopen again. So this is not completely stupid. This is quite reasonable proposals. Russian peacekeepers, it's not a question at all. By the way, they use the same terminology as everybody uses, but I'm also using my description that Russians are the best peacekeepers because they're taking pieces of land and keeping. So, but it's not much to do with the peacekeeping in normal understanding of that.
Please allow me to use that. I mean, this is lovely. Absolutely.
Yeah, you can use it. You can use it. It's quite
the
popular
best peacekeepers.
now.
Yeah, it's yeah, right. All right. So, talking about Russian efforts and pro-Russian efforts in the world and keeping whatever they are keeping, Robert Fico and his threats to cap power to Ukraine. Is that populism, or he really can do that? What are the aftermath of this for him, for the Slovak land, and for Ukraine, of course?
He's making threatening statements, and he and Orban some time ago, they made wrong strategic decisions, and they decided to build the economy together with Russia and dependent on Russia, and now they bearing the price, and this is how it looks like. So. But what could be done? In European Union, this closure of transit was, if you noticed, perceived quite calmly. And it was said that the EU was ready for that, was preparing for that. So this is not a problem. What Slovakia can do, also not much. The only maybe target for them could be refugees from Ukraine. They really can make their life harder. This is up to them because it's territory of Slovakia. If I correctly remember, there are 130,000 or something like that Ukrainians in Slovakia. So for them, life could be more difficult. But the rest, I don't see anything what they can do. This threats to cut electricity, it looks not serious because it could be solved other ways. And electricity could come from other countries like Romania, like Poland. It was already announced. So this is definitely not a problem. More problems could be for those refugees, as I said.
Well, that would be lovely to see power outages in a luxury hotel in Vietnam. But that's the other question. Energy crisis in general in the so-called Transnistria. If Moldova helps right now, and Moldova said it can help Transnistrian people, it says it can, then it turns out that Russia just loses control over the territory. Am I right?
Yeah, Moldova was always ticking bomb, you know. Moldova is frozen conflict in all meanings of that, and this is just a matter of time. And if Russia would have more free hands to handle this problem, they would do that. And they do not need any reason. They do not need any reason for that. They can really have sufficient pretext or something like that. So in this situation, paradoxically, it's because of decisions of Russia, right, not to supply gas. People will be suffering, but they will be explained that it's because of Ukraine, because of others, not because of Russia. So for them, it will not be a problem with regard to the propaganda. But whether they are going to use this now again, I would repeat, so to say, they still have much to do in other spots, hot spots. I don't think they will do that. So again, it's assumption. Maybe it could come later, but it always can be awakened because it's ticking bomb, and that's exactly why it was created. And it's in general, according to the playbooks of Russia, they're creating frozen conflicts, and through these frozen conflicts, they have influenced many areas in proximity of Russia, and this is how it works. So this is not exceptional. When it will be used, it's another question.
To be broken and then to keep the pieces, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much for the short interview. Hope to talk to you very much soon.
Pleasure.
Thank you, sir. It was a pleasure. Well, that's it. That will be all for tonight. Thank you so very much for your time. My name is Henry Keenan. We are UATV English, an English-speaking Ukrainian state media source every day in constant persuasion to deliver hard truth in easy terms for you, for the whole free world, directly from Ukraine. So please like, share and comment. Your voice indeed matters, as it in turn helps Ukrainian voice to be heard globally. Stay safe, please, and tune for more already tomorrow. We talk.